Shalom Aleichem, everyone. Hope everyone had a wonderful, wonderful week. It is Shabbos Parshas Shlach in Chutz La'aretz, Parshas Korach in Eretz Yisrael, and I find myself in Cape Town, South Africa for Shabbos. My wife and he are on a brief vacation, and we were hoping that we'd get invited to somewhere for Shabbos. We didn't want to do takeout food in the hotel room, and sure enough, it's Thursday. We're getting a little bit nervous. I go to shul, and there's a shul here in Or Sameach Kehila in Cape Town. The Rav identifies me as an outsider, someone new to the neighborhood, and he introduced himself. He asked me where I'm from. I introduced myself. He asked me immediately, do you have a place for Shabbos, Friday night, Shabbos day? And I said, actually, we don't. He invites me Friday night. He arranges for me to have a Suda Shabbos day. I offered to give some shiurim in the neighborhood, which he accepted my offer, and a very warm collegiality immediately was created and was felt. And this is a story that happens midei Shabbos b'Shabbato, midei Yom b'Yom, throughout the world. A Jew goes to a place, he's not part of that community, but all of a sudden the people there identify him as new, as an outsider, as a visitor, as a traveler, and all of a sudden doors are open. We know the legendary Chabad houses throughout the world, but it's not just Chabad. It's Chabad certainly, but everywhere you find this phenomena, and it's really inspiring. It's an inspiring feeling of Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz. A friend likes to tell over this story, I like to tell it over too, of a person who was driving his car upstate New York, and the car breaks down. He has a flat tire, something goes wrong, and he steps out of the car, and people see him. He's wearing a yarmulke. They stop their car, and they help him out. And one of the people that stopped the car to help him out changes the flat, notices he doesn't look so Jewish, but he's wearing a yarmulke. But then he sees on his necklace there's a cross. Something doesn't shtim. So he asked the fellow, "Excuse me, are you Jewish?" And the fellow says, "No, not at all. I'm actually Christian. I'm Puerto Rican, and I'm not Jewish." So then why are you wearing a skull cap? So he answers, "Well, my mother told me, leave one of these on the dashboard of the car. Anytime you get a broken down, a flat tire, whatever, just put it on, wait outside your car, and people are for sure going to stop and help you out." Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz. There's something singular about the Jewish people, unique, a brotherhood, a sense of camaraderie that we have that is unique. And you go to communities outside and you see that there's something profoundly unique about the Jewish people. And perhaps this ties in a little bit to the parashas we've been learning. Parshas Ba'aloscha, into Shlach, into Korach. What do they have in common? What's a theme that seems to permeate? Is that there are personalities in these parashas that missed a little bit of this singularity, did not chap. For example, the Meraglim. So Soloveitchik develops the idea, this essay is published in Reflections of the Rav. Soloveitchik developed the idea that Eretz Yisrael is a singular land, and it is singularly destined and for the Jewish people. And it is not like any other land. So when the Meraglim went to scout the land and they identified problems, the giants and the nature of the fruit and the challenges that would exist, they said, this is perhaps not for us. This is not for Bnei Yisrael. We are just good enough and fine in the Midbar. But they missed something. They missed this unique singularity of Eretz Yisrael, that it was destined for the Jewish people. You see, since the Gullus of the Churban Bayis Sheni, nation after nation tries to conquer the land, tries to cultivate the land, and the land says nothing doing. We're not going to produce for you. We're not going to go ahead and enable crops to grow for you. 71 years ago, the Jewish people form a state. We come back, and all of a sudden we start planting, we start drying up the swamps, and all of a sudden the land starts to produce. Singularity of Eretz Yisrael, the uniqueness of Eretz Yisrael. This is something perhaps, as Rav Soloveitchik, the Meraglim, missed out on. The end of Parshas Ba'aloscha, Miriam speaks Lashon Hara about Moshe Rabbeinu. Korach says to Moshe, why are you so special? Why is Aaron so special? The whole nation is Kedoshim. What is singular about you? But the reality is that the Nevuas Moshe Rabbeinu is singular, is unique, is special. And in fact, our entire Emunah is based on and is built upon the singularity of Nevuas Moshe. Hashem spoke to Moshe, Peh el Peh adarabo. Moshe saw his Nevuah ba'aspaklaria ha'me'ira. So when Miriam speaks Lashon Hara, how could you leave your wife, Tzipora? So she was, says Rav Soloveitchik, missing the unique singularity of Nevuas Moshe, and Korach for sure, motivated by his own selfish, egotistical motivations. He also doesn't understand the uniqueness of the role of Moshe and Nevuas Moshe Rabbeinu. And in a very, very real sense, that is what these parashiyos represent. That's the failing of Korach, of the Meraglim, misunderstanding the singularity of Moshe, of Eretz Yisrael, and perhaps even of the Jewish people. The Ribbono Shel Olam in his tefillin wears tefillin, Chazal tell us, and we wear tefillin. What does it say in our tefillin? Our tefillin says, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, is that we are reminding ourselves of the singularity of Hashem, that Hashem is Echad, that Ein Od Milvado, that He is everything. He is one, there is no other, and it is singular in the most pure, pristine sense of that word. Hashem also, Kiviyachol, wears tefillin, and what is found on his tefillin? Mika Amcha Yisrael, Goy Echad Ba'aretz. Who is like your people, Hashem? Goy Echad, a singular nation. A nation that is singular in its sense of chesed to its brothers. A nation that is singular, one nation under God. We'll borrow someone else's term, but it's an accurate term. An Am Segula, with a unique relationship with Hashem, but even as profound, a unique relationship to each other, where people can travel the world, and they know if there's a Jewish community there, there's family there. By definition, it is home. As I've been traveling in Cape Town, we go to there's a place called Boulders Beach with a lot of penguins, and we see Chabad Hasidim there, and all of a sudden, Shalom Aleichem, Bas Machter, maybe we can make a mincha minyan. You go to other places, and all of a sudden, there's that identifiable Jew. Yes, you can single him out. You know he's there, and you single him out, and there's a knowing nod that this is my brother, that we are one, and if you need something, I'm here for you. If I need something, you're here for me. That's something so special and so profound, certainly something to reflect upon, to think about, and to always realize, Mika Amcha Yisrael Goy Echad Ba'aretz. Have a beautiful Shabbos.